just want the world to know I was here, that I mattered.
I was excited, nervous even, on this 2020 December evening to finally play this game from a universe I've only recently discovered. And after a quick download and not so quick install process, it launched. And it was all true. Everything they said about this game in the first couple of months was true. And I was mad, I was disappointed, which is much worse. I mean, I was lucky to be on the shitty performance end of the spectrum of frustration and not on the bug to death one. It really wasn't a great experience, and yet I kept on playing. And so many others did as well. There was this feeling in the air, this aura surrounding this game. I got sucked into its world and it wouldn't let me go. I just could not put it down. What so many people seem to forget is that Cyberpunk 2077 is, in many regards, an absolute masterpiece. Its world, its people, and the dark future it portrays is like nothing I've ever played before. The story so far out there, yet so close to home. Characters so dystopian, yet unnervingly close to real life. So let's take a look at the countless things this game did right before Phantom Liberty hits the shelves. We got a Delta tune, there's no going back. If you really think about it, Cyberpunk pulled a ballsy move in its first 2 hours. You get accustomed to the world, you quickly make friends with a guy named Jackie, get some eddies along the way, and when your residential fixer Dex offers you a gig that will definitely open the gates to the hollowed halls of the afterlife forever, you accept, of course. An hour later, you, Jackie, and the deal are dead. And that's where Cyberpunk 2077 decides to shove its title on your screen for the first time. And I was dumbfounded. This was supposed to be just the opening to the game, the intro. It's stuff like that, marvelous execution when it comes to style, that I really enjoy about this thing. From its visuals to audio to gameplay, the game is just in the edge zone. There's a fine line between oozing style and coolness and being intensely cringe. And for me at least, Cyberpunk manages to stay on the style side of this balancing act quite well. A lot of that is owed to Mike Pondsmith, of course, who created so much of what we see in the game. But take the lingo, for example. Yo Chumba, I was docking one of those culture vultures yesterday when her gonk BF came home and almost made me take a dirt nap. Is something that I could never say in real life, or in Night City for that matter, without sounding like an absolute idiot. I'm sorry, gonk. But with the help of the incredibly talented voice cast and CDPR's outstanding writing, it just works. But not only the cool street kid attitude of many characters is very believable, all the other factions sell their image convincingly well. Arrogant corpos, onerous Arasakas, crazy animals and chromed up maelstroms all tell their little stories by the way they talk to you and each other. And while it's only one part of it, the lingo gives a lot of credibility to one of Cyberpunk's most important aspects. I mentioned Jackie already. I have to admit that I've not yet played the corpo path, but I know that the results are always the same. But the way we get to know our favorite hair model differs from path to path. And to be honest, it doesn't matter. Because even if V knows Jackie all their life, we don't. So the game has to sell this character to us as a friend in record time. And I only realized how much I enjoyed this character hours, days after I lost him. Close to the end of the game, when V is in Mikoshi, he's just sitting there on a plastic chair on a roof in the rain.
Jackie! Gonna be up to our necks in juicy contracts, brother. I can feel it.
And I was so happy to see this guy again. I felt bad about forgetting him. So much happens between the first 2 hours of the game and the last, so many characters and friends to meet, and here he is, the original one. But V and I quickly realized that he is not a real engram, not Jackie Wells. He is just a program pretending to be him, replaying his greatest hits. And the pain in V's voice when they realize is just...
Goodbye, old friend. Afterlife. See you there.
The reason I'm telling you all this is because V and Jackie have, 3 hours max of real-world time together in this game. And yet he is a fan favorite and a person one gets very attached to very quickly. And that's not done by magic, but incredible artistry. And he is not the only one. Panam and Judy are fantastic characters, one bold and loud, one more quiet and cool, both insecure in their own ways, but incredibly strong overall. Watching Takemura slowly realize that many of his convictions are not what the real world is like is pulled off so convincingly. Growing up to and striving for what you believe is right and the truth is something that V has to achieve as well. I like the street kid path so much because V is just an overconfident, cocky character with, don't get me wrong, some sick skills, but they are still just a street kid. It fits the game best in my opinion, and depending on how you decide over Johnny's and V's fate, V has to grow up a lot and take responsibility for their actions, even if it means death. This game is so unrelentingly brutal and honest, with a lot of it strongly anchored in realism. I mean, sure, it's a future over 50 years from now, with people being chromed up, space stations and brain dances and whatever, but the main issues these characters face are all too human and real. Friendship or family, forgiveness or revenge, me or you, are decisions we have to face every day. Maybe not with a Type C jack in the back of our heads, but the basic concept stays the same. It's pretty much the same reason why RDR2 fucked me up so badly. It is intensely human, even if it's set in a time that's more than twice as far away from us now than Cyberpunk is. I could go on and on about the way CDPR handles characters, but well, I've got 750 hours in The Witcher and 100 and counting in Cyberpunk, so let's just say they know what they are doing. There's so much to be said about the physical world of Cyberpunk. The way the city is laid out, the design of pedestrians, cars and buildings, the ambient sounds, the news coverage, and so much more. But what sells this world to the players, I think, is the way that it manages to be an unnervingly accurate caricature of a very possible future. Ads, for example, have become so much more annoying over the years, more over the top, more edgy and daring. And what we see in Cyberpunk is the logical future of modern advertising, hypersexualized, loud, obnoxious. I grow annoyed with advertising quite quickly in real life. I just cannot listen to it. And if I have to hear that goddamn orgiatic thing again, I'll go cyber psycho. However, as annoying as that is, it's just perfect. It's exactly how I imagine advertising in a city like Night City. Same goes for the way the universe handles corporations. Just a handful of big global players run by larger-than-life people who have become myths. Amazon, Walmart, Exxon, Shell, they already have us in their pockets. In Edge Runners, the Cyberpunk anime, the protagonist David has to pay money to wash his clothes in a washing machine in his flat. Starting from a world where heated seats are built into your car but accessed by subscriptions, it's only a matter of time till we see this stuff in our own reality. Personal freedom as a disguise for the financial gutting of people isn't a new concept either. Oh, you're so free! You don't have to pay those nasty socialist taxes that will make your healthcare less expensive, your city safer and cleaner, your lives better. No, you have freedom, and we, the corporations, offer all that you need for that freedom for a small to not so small price. Oh, and remember, everyone's freedom and liberty can be a danger to yours. So why not carry one more gun? It'll sure as hell will make your life safer. Oh, and while you're at it, you don't want to be riding last-gen Chrome, don't you? Have you seen the new Kiroshi kit? You'll see clearer than ever before. Start saving your eddies and visit your local Ripper Doc. Corpo talk aside, the way that cyberware is implemented into this world is, again, very believable and reminiscent of our current lives. We all have smartphones, some have smart watches, smart clothes, wristbands, cochlear implants, or even bionic eyes, like Argus 2. That's cyberware, guys. It's here. It is happening. And in a not-so-far future, body modification will merge with medical augmentation to form a sort of a recreational, do-it-for-the-fun or style cyberweb. And as much as I hope that we will be able to take another road in the universe of Cyberpunk, I think that we will arrive at the same benefits and pitfalls of this development. Contrary to that, there's also a development in this universe that I like. Night City, just like its real-life counterpart of LA, is a melting pot, a salad bowl, whatever. It's a hive of cultural merging and mixing from Asia to Africa to America to Europe, and, except for stuff that's gonna happen inside of a single culture anyways, like gang fights and crime, humans in Night City tend to kind of make it work. And that's something we should strive for. That was a lot of talk to just say that what makes Cyberpunk 2077 so believable is that it's nothing less than a pretty realistic future in many ways, of course not in all. And with that, it's also a warning. I know exactly what you just felt.
But now you're gonna leave it nothing but a sign.
And I felt the same. I mean, I know there are people out there who really don't care about music in video games, or weirdly, music at all. But this game's music is an incredible tool, and it's used very well as a means to build the world and set the scene. Just take this song as an example. There are literally thousands of videos on dozens of platforms retelling the old playing Cyberpunk before and after Edge Runners joke with crying Keanu and stuff. And as funny as it is also very true. And also, none of those videos are without I Really Wanna Stay at Your House by Rosa, Walton and Hallie Coggins. That's, of course, because it's an amazing song, but also because it was used to perfection as David's and Lucy's love theme in Edge Runners. And while I obviously know that the game and the anime were made by two mostly different sets of people, it carried me deeper into the universe, by allowing me to emotionally connect to more characters who, in turn, are emotionally connected to this universe. I was able to get a broader, more universal tie to this world. The anime did its fair share of carrying a lot of weight in this as well, of course, but it's this song, this damn song, that I always come back to get my daily fix of the saddies. Can we talk about the fact that CDPR not only, fun fact, animated all the guitar playing in the game very accurately, but also not only wrote songs for a fictional band that's only seen in throwbacks, but somehow got refused to act as samurai to be this band? And if the small documentary of the whole ordeal is anything to go by, they didn't make it easy for samurai, refused. But that shows in a good way. The songs are very fitting to Johnny's ideals and persona and are, overall, just bangers. Tying these songs to factions is a nice detail too. The Maelstrom have their very fitting weird as fuck music, the Mogs have their punk and so on. Subcultures fully equipped with scene-fitting music, attire, chrome and parties and quests just makes the world so much more believable. If it sounds like I'm a bit all over the place, then that's because I am. This video could have been 2 hours long if I really wanted to talk about everything I like. But I told myself to keep it short and focus on the most important stuff, so I can get this one out before the release of Phantom Liberty. Not that it really matters that much, but I need a deadline. Please, go ahead and fill the comments with all the stuff you like about this game. There's a lot that I left out, and even more that I forgot about. But hey, here's some more. The customization. Yeah, sure, the game lacks a lot of it in terms of cars and houses and weapon finishes and stuff, but when it comes to characters and clothes, it makes up for it. I actually don't really like super detailed character creators because my chars always look incredibly bad. But this well-struck balance in having a heap of faces and beards and hairs and noses and whatever to choose to customize, but not over-customize your character is exactly what I need. I mean, sure, it's kind of unnecessary to be able to adjust dig size and areola size or whatever in a game that doesn't need it, but let me put it this way. If we only put stuff into games that was necessary for said games, we would have damn boring games. Also, there's absolutely nothing wrong in letting people create somehow accurate versions of themselves, head, shoulders, knees and toes included. So I'm happy I can adjust genitals and voice or whatever, even if I never see it again. Except for the bug where your dick popped out of your pants. The graphics are something that I'm a bit divided on. It looks great, amazing even, especially at night, and I love the art direction. From the clean walls and slopes of Corpo Life to the dirty gutters of Santo Domingo, the game looks very natural and fitting to the environments presented to us. But then again, it was also very poorly optimized and ran like shit for quite a while. And even now that it runs better, it somehow managed to absolutely break the draw distance. I'm okay with objects fading out early and whatever, but 100-foot end card rails should not despawn right above my head. Just saying. Sometimes I look into characters' faces, Rogue for example, and I'm just in awe at how good they look. So good, not natural necessarily, but alive, like real people. Some more than others, but I just love zooming in on people's faces all the time. Don't judge me. This game could have had it all, if it had been given more time. But it is what it is, and the game didn't get it all right, but a lot. And I love it for that. I learned to love it for what it is, and not what it could have been. And that's a look at life that many people, myself included, should apply to more situations than just games. One of my coworkers played Cyberpunk quite parallel to me, and we talked about it, and I was ranting a bit about the disappearing rail cards and whatever, and he looked at me and he said, "Yeah, sure, but who cares? Have you finished Judy's questline yet? She's amazing, her story is amazing." And I forgot all my anger and frustration and carefully explained to him why Panam is obviously the coolest girl in the world. And let's be honest, that's what it's all about.
I just want the world to know that I was here, that I mattered. Jackie!
Instead of a dream, you're living a nightmare. A restless glance, same glum-faced.
Ooh, Jack.
Gonna be up to our necks in juicy contracts, bro.
You're afraid of being erased, as if you never existed.
Death walks in your wake. Chalk that up to bad luck?
This is it, Chica.
Of insidious intent.
I'm done for.
Or is it just the fear of becoming someone else? Different.
Oh, do not ask, what is it?
You find out what it is you need to do.
Let us go and make our visit.
Which is... You're gonna tell me?
He found the courage to bet on himself.
Well?
It's perfect. All great, Pan Am. We're going home.